Good morning, everybody. As we are discussing about the nervous system, with regards of this nervous system, we have discussed about the neurons, structure of the nervous cell, as well as the parts of the brain in that cerebrum we have discussed it. Today, with regards of these parts of brain, we are going to discuss about the cerebellum as well as the medulla oblongata. These two parts and some other information I am going to explain you in this video. So let us discuss once, recollect the information which is given by me in the previous video, that is the cerebrum. It is the largest part of the brain which controls and coordinates the complete voluntary activities, and it is the seat of intelligence, memory, reasoning as well as questioning completely. And also it has that cerebrum is having the 4 associated centers. That means the total cerebrum is completely divided into 4 lobes. The front part of the cerebrum is frontal lobe, is for memory. It is the largest lobe in the cerebrum, and the parietal lobe is for smell and speech. Temporal lobe is the taste and hearing the sound, and as well as the back side, that is the occipital lobe, is for visual effect. So in this way, the total cerebrum, it is the largest part of the brain, and it is the seat of intelligent, memory, remembrance, reasoning, questioning as well as the consciousness, and controls all the voluntary activities. All the voluntary activities are controlled by the cerebrum. So let us move the next part of the brain, that is the cerebellum. It's also called as the small brain or little brain. It's also called as small brain or little brain. Cerebellum, when you take the brain, this is the external part of the brain, and this is the area you find the cerebellum. This is cerebellum. It is a very small part in the brain completely. It is projected beneath the cerebrum, the largest part of the brain, and it is also divided into 2 equal halves. Those are called as the cerebellar hemispheres. A right cerebellar hemisphere in the right side, left cerebellar hemisphere in the left side, and both of them are connected. These cerebellar hemispheres are connected with a part is presented in front of the cerebellum, that is called as the pons varolii. Simply we can say pons. Okay, pons varolii. It is a part which is presented in between the cerebellar hemispheres and convey the messages from the right part of the cerebellum to left part of the cerebellum, and the left part of the cerebellum to right part of the cerebellum. So this way the messages will be conveyed by the pons varolii. It is like a relay center. Pons varolii like a relay center between the cerebellar hemispheres. And cerebellum, it is a small brain. Why it is called as a small brain means it completely controls the balance of the body according to the situation of the conditions, according to the condition of the environment, situation of the environment, with regards of others' expressions, our expression, our answers, our body balance will be completely controlled by cerebellum. And also along with this controlling of the balance, cerebellum is also control the muscular activities. Muscular activities this means the contraction and relaxation. The contraction and the relaxation. These will be controlled by cerebellum. It means that suppose you want to walk from here to there. Actually, this is the voluntary action. You want means you are decided to move from one place to another place. It is a voluntary action. Okay, you want to move like this. If you want to move means there will be coordination of bones as well as the coordination of muscles. The contraction and relaxation of the muscles is controlled by cerebellum. Then only by the coordination between the muscles and the bones, it means that coordination between the cerebrum and cerebellum. Compulsory. Remember this. The movement simply we are not moving here and there. The movement it is completely coordinated by cerebrum as well as the cerebellum. The bones activity is controlled by cerebrum and muscular activities are controlled by cerebellum. So both of them are coordinated each other and help us to move from one place to another place. That is the major important function of the cerebellum. The muscular activities, the contraction and relaxation of the muscular activities will be controlled by only the cerebellum. Okay, and beside of this one, it also controls the balance of the body. According to the situation, how to talk, how to mingle, what to talk, everything will be decided by only the cerebellum. And you might be have experienced that some of the people who are drunken have taken that alcohol, and they might be speaking differently, and also they will be moving unconsciously. That means their body control is not their control completely. That their body activities are not their control. This means the alcohol what is they have taken, they have drunk, that alcohol influence on the cerebellum. The alcohol influence on the cerebellum, and so that the body balance will be unfair or unfamiliar completely, and so that the person will be drowsy like this, and also speaks unconsciously. He doesn't know what he is speaking. He doesn't know how he is moving. He is completely moving in a different manner. And once that hangover is come down or completely gone, then he will come to the consciousness and he will say that I did not do anything, I did not do anything. What I talked or what I did. This is because he doesn't know what happened when he was drunk. That is, that body balance is completely controlled by cerebellum. That's why cerebellum is the small brain. It controls the body balance and also muscular activities compulsory. Okay, and next move to the third part of the brain, that is called as medulla oblongata. This is called medulla oblongata. It's a long tube-like structure which is a triangular in shape. Medulla oblongata. So yes, one point I missed in the cerebellum. So as we already learned about this one, cerebrum, the outer cortex is in gray matter because all the cell bodies are presented, all the cell bodies of the neurons are presented in the outer cortex of the cerebrum. So it is a gray matter, and all the axons of the nervous cells are presented inside the medulla, in the inner part of the brain, that is called medulla. So there will be white matter. Okay. So the same thing will be presented in the cerebellum also. In the cerebellum also, same thing will be presented. The outer cortex is completely covered by this cytoplasm, cytons. That means cell bodies of the neurons are presented outer cortex, and the axons are presented in the inner part of the cerebellum. That's why outer gray matter, inner white matter will be presented in the cerebellum. It is looks like a branched tree. Which one? The cerebellum. Okay, let us come to know about the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is a tube-like structure which is extended as a spinal cord. Which is extended as a spinal cord. Okay, and this is very important for medulla oblongata is very important for as it is controlling the all the involuntary actions of the body, beating of heart, that means heartbeat, breathing, digestion of the food, respiration. These all will be controlled by the medulla oblongata. So the medulla oblongata is very important. If the medulla oblongata is spoiled or is damaged, surely the person dies. Why? Why? Because it controls all the involuntary actions like heartbeat, respiration, as well as that digestion of the food. All the involuntary actions are controlled by this medulla oblongata. Once it is damaged, all these involuntary actions will be damaged. So the person will die. If the heartbeat stops, the person dies or not. Simple common sense. Okay. So medulla oblongata is very important as it is controlling all the involuntary actions. Okay. Even if you are feeling some hungriness, sleepiness, grief, or whatever it is, whatever the emotions, everything because of the medulla oblongata. It will control the sleep, it will control the hungriness of the body. All the involuntary actions will be controlled by the medulla oblongata. These are the three major parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. This is the cerebrum. This is cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. And this medulla oblongata, cerebellum, and cerebrum, these are the three parts that are presented in the primarily present in the brain. But basically, brain has been divided into three major regions. Three major regions of the brain. Let me write on the board. The regions of the brain. Forebrain, hindbrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. There are the three major regions of the brain: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. These are the three major regions of the brain. Forebrain is having the two parts: cerebrum and diencephalon. Midbrain is a short part, small part, a short region, and hindbrain consisting of three parts: cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. These are the major parts that are involved in the brain. There are three regions: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain already we have discussed. Just I will once again tell you. The cerebrum already largest part of the brain, and the major function of the cerebrum is it's a seat of intelligence, consciousness, remembrance, memory, and thinking, and even the reasoning. And diencephalon consisting of two parts once again, that is the thalamus and hypothalamus. which is presented below the corpus callosum. A question mark shaped structure will be presented. Already I have explained this one. Corpus callosum. This is the region below this corpus callosum is called as thalamus, and below the thalamus the region which is presented here, this is called as hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is very much important, which control the temperature of the body, which control the completely temperature of the body, and also hypothalamus is also control the endocrine gland that is presented in the brain, base of the brain here. The endocrine gland that is present at the base of the brain, it is called as pituitary gland. This pituitary gland is a gland which secretes the hormones, and also it controls all other endocrine glands actually. But this as it is controlling all other endocrine glands, this is called as master gland of the body. Pituitary gland is also called as master gland of the body, but this master gland of the body is controlled by hypothalamus. The master gland of the body, that is the pituitary gland, is controlled by hypothalamus. Remember here, the pituitary gland is controlling the all other endocrine glands, and this pituitary gland is controlled by hypothalamus of the diencephalon. Okay, hypothalamus, that is very important organ in our brain. It also controls the not only pituitary gland, it also controls the temperature of the body. Next, the midbrain, it's a short region, very small region, which is completely act as a relay center between the cerebrum and the cerebellum. That means forebrain and hindbrain. These two regions are connected by the midbrain. Next one is hindbrain. Cerebellum already we discussed. It's a small brain which controls the balance of the body as well as the muscular activities of the body, and it is divided into two regions, that is cerebellar hemisphere, right cerebellar hemisphere and left cerebellar hemisphere, and these two are connected by pons varolii. This pons varolii is act as a relay center. It sends the information, the impulses from right cerebellar hemisphere to left cerebellar hemisphere, as the same from the left cerebellar hemisphere to right cerebellar hemisphere. Next one is medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata controls all the involuntary activities of the body. All the involuntary activities are controlled by medulla oblongata. Okay, this is the complete information about the brain. And next we will discuss about the spinal cord.